Welcome to the Positive Pants Podcast. Mindset, motivation and inspiration to help you find your positive pants. It's time to let go of negative thinking, understand why you do what you do and stop the self-sabotage with your host, Fran Excel.
Welcome to the show. As always, it's Fran Excel, your resident subconscious success mentor, helping you find your very own pair of positive pants so you can get out of your own way and live a life that you love. If you want to stop self-sabotaging your own success and let go of the stress, then you are in the right place, my friend. Make sure you download your free Stressed to Success guided meditation at bit.ly/stress to success as my little gift to you just for being here. Please do subscribe, share and review. It really, really helps people that need to hear this message find us, and I so appreciate it. In the show notes, you'll also find details of how you can work with me and where you can get your mitts on my meditations, products, printables, programs. You can find it through the link in my bio on Instagram, which is my favorite place to hang out. So please do come join me over there at I'm Fran Excel. Tag me in your takeaways, slide into my DMs. I'm here for it. So that's the formalities over, my love. So let's jump to the content. How can you stop freaking out that we're halfway through the year? Good question, my friend. And one I have been hearing a lot lately. The amount of people who've said, OMG, I can't believe it's June already this week is immense. I get it, but also breathe. It's all too easy to look at these arbitrary made-up timeframes and should on ourselves, right? Grab your journal and spend some time reflecting on the last 6 months. I bet you have achieved way more than you think you have. Don't just look at a list of things that you told yourself you needed to do by this point in the year. Really allow yourself to actually take a look back at where you were in December or January. How did you feel? If you haven't achieved that list yet, why not? What's happened? Now, there's zero judgment here, so I invite you to offer that compassion to yourself and ask these questions in a way that is genuinely curious rather than accusatory, because there is a big difference. So what happened in your life or your loved ones' lives or the world that meant that things that were a priority in January kind of just stopped being so? What's been on your plate? When you set those goals, where were they set from? Was it from a place of them genuinely being your goals and achievable in the time frame? Or was it someone else in your head at that point? Or were you operating from a point or a place of not feeling good enough? It's so easy to do when it comes to goal setting, right? I like to think of goals as just that. Things I'd like to do, but allow for flexibility. Things change. Circumstances change. Sometimes life is ridiculously unpredictable. So spend some time planning your next 6 months as well. This is how we don't freak out. If you want to, right? Challenge yourself, sure, but also ask yourself, what would you be happy with achieving in the next 6 months? That's probably less than you've actually set yourself. And it's probably a lot less tangible, right? I always love the quote, shoot for the moon. If you miss, you'll land among the stars. And time is a funny thing. It can feel like it's moving extremely fast or extremely slow. The same 6 months might feel like a whirlwind to one person and a slow wade through treacle to another. So ask yourself what you're proud of in the last 6 months. Ask yourself these questions in a different way. Don't just focus on the tangible, financial, obvious, material goals. What have you got through that was really tough? Where did you push yourself out of your comfort zone? Where did something happen where you allowed yourself to learn a valuable lesson? And what are you making where you're at right now mean about you? There are always going to be times of the year where it's natural for you to feel like you're behind where you're meant to be. But please try to remember it's basically a societal construct or your own. It doesn't really mean anything unless you make it mean something. So I look over the last 6 months and geez, I'm a totally different person. I actually didn't set myself any specific kind of tangible goals other than to take a day at a time this year because of the upheaval and change that was coming. I mean, because I set it in motion, in fairness. And taking things a day at a time is something I'm getting better at all the time. It's not something that comes natural to me. And there's new people coming into my life teaching me that too. And that's always a good thing. I have always had a tendency, as an Enneagram 6, to try and prepare for every outcome, to plan. It's my natural go-to. And sometimes you simply can't. As a qualified mindfulness practitioner, I have learned to be intentional about presence, and I am great at creating moments of bringing myself back to the present as and when I want or need to. But living in the present is a very different beast. It requires conscious thought and effort. And I'm letting this year simply be a year of lessons and growth. I don't need anything more tangible right now. And in fairness, some people wait a lifetime for that in and of itself. We're just kind of trained to not value it as highly as material goals, right? And this year there's been a huge amount of upheaval in pretty much every area of my life, which you know if you've been with me for a while, which has been discombobulating to say the least and required a huge identity shift. But it's been very necessary and 100% the right thing, and I'm so flipping grateful for all of the lessons along the way and the flipping roller coaster that it's been. But I'm certainly not feeling behind. There are moments, don't get me wrong. And even though on paper some people might squint their eyes and look at it that way, that's a them thing, not a me thing. But in many, many ways I'm ahead. We have such a tendency to look at certain elements, often professionally, and decide that we're behind or that we're running out of time. But we tend to ignore all the ways that we've grown. All the ways we've created big shifts. So don't try and catch up with yourself or other people. It really is flipping pointless. If you could just take a deep breath and look at where you're at right here, right now, without all the other stuff and other people's stuff that you put on it, what would you see? What would you do? Where might you take action? What might you say yes to instead of no? Get specific about where you're feeling behind. Is it really true? Probably not. And what could make you feel or know that you're moving forwards? And as always, what are you grateful for where you're at right now? So if you're one of the many people feeling like you're behind where you should be in June of 2023, I invite you to take a minute and just try to see a different perspective. Because the bottom line is the quickest way to change how you're feeling is to change how you're thinking and the way that you're looking at things. So if you got value from this and you know in your gut that now is the time to step up and start rewiring your thinking and start changing things for yourself, then join the Positive Pants Toolkit app and community so you can work out what needs to happen to get you from where you're at right now to the action-taking success you know you can be. And if you want my eyes and ears on your problems, then I work with people one-on-one and through my programs. You can find all the details to join the toolkit or book in a call in the show notes, the link in my bio on Instagram, and on my website, franexcel.com. So stop waiting for if and when and choose to change things now because you can. I'm here to believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. And as always, I hope you found this helpful and I'll see you next week. Bye.